What's up, guys? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and the overall markets. I want to talk about some very key levels to watch from how things are looking, in my opinion. But just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total, not to mention 8.1% APY on invested cash. The offer ends very soon, in just about 12 days from now. Anyways, let's talk about what's happening with the market. So I just want to say that the market right now is looking very interesting. We saw the market attempt to push in the morning. Then we got this dump that happened intraday. And then right now we're seeing buyers defending again. I think the bill auction is about to come out in just a couple of minutes. So we'll see how that goes. But just know this, there are some headlines coming out about Tesla. Many reports claim that the Tesla Shanghai Gigafactory is going to be starting the mass production of the Model Y refresh, according to local media reports. Now, I am seeing some possible evidence of the Model Y Juniper that could be coming out very soon, but nothing is officially confirmed by Tesla, so we can't make this claim like objectively, right? We can't say this for sure. There have been some talks about how Song Gung, who was the former director of Tesla's Shanghai Gigafactory, has been leaving the company. Tesla has to find somebody else to replace him, of course, but they claim that with these reports coming out, there was a leak. They claim that that's what's happening right now of mass production that could be starting for the new Model Y in January. Tesla has only said that they don't plan on giving us some kind of new model refresh this year. This year is going to be ending in just a couple of weeks, so maybe next year it could be coming out. It's always a possibility, and these reports claim that. But like I said before, nothing's guaranteed. Nothing is 100% confirmed by Tesla, so we'll see how it ends up going. It could take even longer than that. We don't know for sure if it's going to start as soon as January. But I do want to say this: when it eventually comes out, whether it takes a month or 2 months or 6 months, it's going to be a really big hit in my opinion, because it's going to incentivize a lot more sales for Tesla. I think it's going to be very awesome. So I can't wait to see when this officially comes out. It's going to look really cool, and we'll see how it ends up going. There's also some news that we have the bill auction coming out in about a minute from now. We have the 4-week and 8-week bill auctions. We'll see if this causes some volatility in real time. And as I speak right now, the market is shuffling between a very nice range. But like I said before, we are showing a little bit more life. So let's talk about these levels. What's happening to Tesla? So we saw this big sell off all the way down to about 427 yesterday. Then today we got bought back up towards just under 460. I was predicting 458 to 460, and I said to watch and see if we get rejection off that as we had this gap to fill. And we came just short of it. We came very close to about 458, only to reject a little bit short. And then Tesla ended up dipping from there. So now it looks like we're in a range. Okay. Every time Tesla's coming near like this 434 area, and that aligns with this previous resistance becoming support, we're getting bought back up. But as we hit around 456, we tended to reject. And right now, Tesla's doing a little dance around the 440 area. So I think this is going to continue as time goes on. But there is still a risk of downside if we end up losing the low of the day. So be a little bit more careful. So make sure you guys watch the resistance that happens to be around that 450 area. That's going to be the main level of resistance. We have 442, and then I would say 450 above that. The closer it gets to our 20 EMA, very close to that range. Then 456 is what I'd be watching next, the high of the day. If we break that, we will turn a bit more bullish. And then if we turn down, you want to see us essentially lose 434-ish. If we lose that range, there's going to be a dump down to about, very close to the lows from yesterday, followed by 418, which is where the 50 EMA happens to be. So for now, there are buyers trying to hold us above 440, which is a decent sign, but Tesla is not breaking resistance, and this just makes me suspect that it's just completely range bound, shuffling near 440 for now. When you look at the smaller time frames, such as the 5-minute time frames, if I go down here, you guys will see that it's shuffling. Like, look at the price action, right? We got a little push, came down a bit, pushed, came down, now we're coming back up. So we're just going back and forth in this range. I think Tesla may continue that. However, as time goes on, we'll see if we do end up selling off a little bit more, because technically there is like a rejection right here. So there is a risk of us dipping a little bit lower. I just want to say that. But for now, we are just doing a little shuffle dance, and we'll give Tesla some time to develop. So we'll see if we sell off more and lose the low of the day or not. But even though there's a risk of that, for now we are in a range. Now for SPY, it's the same thing. We're technically in a range, but we're going to be watching to see how we end up closing on this. So we got this sell off all the way down towards the 583 area, just under our 584 support. Then we got bought back up towards 593. So we dumped. We saw a little dump after that. Then we're getting bought back up again. So we're very flat. So in my view, it looks like SPY is trying to see buyers defending it. We have 591.23 is a very, very key level. That's going to be our 4-hour 200 EMA. We'll see if we close above 591 or not. I think that's going to be very important. For now, we're doing a little shuffle dance at 591. We're showing some life because there are buyers trying to defend it at 588. So if we lose 588, there could be like a bigger move to the downside, followed by a rug pull if we lose 584. We haven't done that yet. We're still holding 584 quite well. But if we break past the high of the day, we're looking for essentially 595. We haven't really done either of those. So if anything, I would just say that we're still doing a little shuffle around 591, give or take 1 point above or below. And I think we likely continue to do that for a sustainable period of time. But what matters is the close. Do we close below our 200 EMA or below it? Do we get a rejection and close below it? If that happens, I'll be looking for more downside. If we close above this, we could attempt to push more. So it all depends on that. I'll be waiting for that just to be safe. Watch this 591 area and see how well we could hold above it. If not, this could be dipping back down towards 590, then 588. Otherwise, look for some shuffling that's going to continue. For Nvidia, we're showing more. We're showing more life. We're trying to hold above 133. As long as we're above 133.28, this could try to push a little bit higher. There's potential for 135. So we're doing a pretty good job so far. I hope we continue to hold up. For Bitcoin, we're trying to hold 100,000. If we lose that, we're going to be looking a little bit more bearish. As long as we're above this, we could attempt to push for 101,000. So I think we're doing a pretty good job at holding up. So watch and see if 100,000 holds on Bitcoin. I think there's potential in that, and this could try to bounce off of that. For others out there, we happen to have the QQQ. This is showing some signs of life. So we started off with this big dump all the way down to about 516. And then we saw this thing get bought back up. If I pull up the 5-minute time frame, you'll see what I'm talking about. There are buyers who are attempting to defend it very close to that supported 516. But the issue is that we have this range to watch for. So as we get close to about 520 and also at 521, we tend to reject. And as we get all the way down to 516, we tend to get bought back up. So watch 520. We'll see if we hold above it or not. If not, there's going to be a risk of us dipping closer to like the 517 area all over again. So just be careful with the QQQ. I would say that close is very important. We'll have to see if we get back above 520. If not, there's going to be a risk of us dipping closer to like many of these lower levels, especially where this lower imbalance happens to be. So there's a risk of some downside here if we can't hold above 520. So I'll be watching that very closely. But for now, just know that we are still technically range bound. This is a big range right here between 516 and the 520 area. That's where we're stuck for now. For others out there, we have NQ, the same setup. Essentially, it's almost identical. We're trying to push a little bit more, but there's tough resistance near the 200 EMA at 21,634 and also at 21,700. So we're stuck going back and forth and back and forth. If we can't hold above that, we could be tipping back down to 21,550. Then we'll see how things end up developing from here. For Aapl, we pushed very nicely to about that 252 area, or a little bit under that. So now we're slowing down a bit. So we're going to be watching the 250 area for our support. If we lose that, we're looking for a move all the way down to about 249 or below. And we're holding up quite well. We got bought back up so far. But watch and see if we could close above 250 at the very least. For now, as long as we close above this could attempt to push for 252.5 over the next couple of days. It depends on if 250 holds, but for now, we're doing a good job, so it looks a bit more bullish. The Russell has dumped quite a bit all the way down to 219, only to retest 221. Once again, I see a range here. So 222 is where we tend to reject, and then we tend to get bought back up around 219. I think we go back and forth here, but there's going to be a risk of us retesting essentially 220 for now. And we'll have to see if we could get back above 222.5. If that's the case, we'll turn a lot more bullish. So give it some time. But I think for now, we're just going to be range bound. Coin is also range bound. We've been spending the majority of the day after getting a small dip. We're just shuffling right now. So we tend to reject the closer we get to about 280, 282.5 to 285. And then we tend to get bought back up around 275. I would say that we're most likely just going to remain range bound. And there's not really a whole lot that's going on. I do want to call out that there is a very critical support at 273. If we lose that, I will turn a lot more bearish. Otherwise, this is just range bound. Amazon is doing a good job at holding up. It looks more bullish. As long as we hold above 224, the 4-hour 50 EMA. I could be looking for a test of 227 on Amazon, showing some life. Meta is holding up decently. I like the fact that it's above 600, but there's tough resistance at 612, so we haven't been able to crack past that. If we do break that, I will turn more bullish. Otherwise, it's basically range bound, right? We're getting bought back up around 600, but we're not breaking past 612, so we're stuck in between that for now. Microsoft is showing some life. It wants to get up to about 444. We came very close to that. I think we might be pushing 444 or above. If we break 443.13, we're looking for 444, then 447 as some targets. So it has more upside potential. Google's also kind of flat here. We have 193.5 is our resistance, and then 190 is our main support. So we'll see if we reject or not. But watch that resistance and we'll see how it goes from here. But anyways, that's it for my video. For now, the market is seeing some buyers attempting to defend it, so be careful. But Tesla, on the other hand, is just doing its little shuffle dance around the 440 area. So we're kind of stuck right now. It's not really that entertaining. We'll give it some time to develop. And with that being said, give Tesla some time. I also want to say that the trend is not looking that great because we technically do have a lower high being made. So although there is some risk of downside for Tesla, I would just say that for the most part, we're just shuffling. So give that some time to develop. And like I said, we'll see if these lows end up breaking or not. We haven't lost critical support. We haven't broken critical resistance. We're just stuck for now. So give Tesla some time. Thank you for listening and peace out.